Hello everyone, Goomba here. So, as of today or yesterday for the US folks out there, as I'm recording this video, the Uncharted 2, Uncharted 3 and The Last of Us servers on PS3 got shut down, and it was like 10 hours ago or some shit like that, I don't really remember. And I really feel sad about it because it was like, especially Uncharted 3, when it comes to like the multiplayer on PS3 back in the day, I felt it like it was really fun, and I never had this much fun out of that any other multiplayer game, any other than Little Planet 3 2, to be honest. And well, it's sad to see them go, right? Because I've seen like lots of people really moaning about this game, and it's like it's really acceptable of why that is, because, well, with the exception of The Last of Us on PS4, you can't really play those games anymore online. And really, it's really sad that they didn't even include those kind of multiplayers in the Nathan Drake collection. I really wish they added that, but I think there's like nothing really to do about it anymore. However, I really want to talk about my entire playthrough of Uncharted 3, because that's the game I played the most on PS3 when it comes to like this kind of a competitive shooter, right? And well, it all started in 2012 because my friend of mine, it was like one of the best friends I've had back then, and she encouraged me to buy Uncharted 3. She found that the multiplayer is really fun, and especially the co-op modes. So I picked it up, bought it, and like immediately I've had some issues with the laser. I didn't really know that I've had them before, because I was playing on Little Planet 2 just fine, and that was on a disc. So there were some methods that I found out in the internet that supposedly tilting the console upwards while the disc was loading, that would allow it somehow that the laser will like shift somewhere closer to the disc and somehow read the game and then get me through the intro and that kind of shit. So I was able to play the game just fine. And that was actually the thing. I managed to actually get the game working on a console which we couldn't manage to like read the game straight away. And it was like really fun, since that friend of mine, she didn't really like those kind of death matches or any kind of sorts, so we were just playing basically co-op and adventure modes. And it wasn't really all the hardest difficulty, because I think it was because I had to learn the game first, because yeah, obviously we all knew that, well, she could manage that herself, because she's played quite a while of this game already. And well, it was basically like that. We're playing not on the crushing difficulty at first, but on the hard. So it's like one of the hardest. It's like second hardest difficulty, and it's not really all that difficult. It's just like the only difficulty that there is really is that you can shoot and harm other teammates. And well, obviously I wasn't really all that stupid, I only did that when she really came like in front of my crosshair or some shit like that. Of course, when that happened, it was really hilarious and all, but yeah, obviously it was really fun times. I grinded the shit out of the arenas and adventures, because those were that modes where you could grind a rank the most efficient way. And I remember that I went past like say 4 or 3, I don't really remember, 3 or 4 legacies. And those were the kind of things that allow you to reset the rank after you reached the maximum limit of 75. And I believe you could like have 5 legacies at max, so you couldn't go beyond that. So it was like really fun getting through these legacies. And eventually, I think we have moved on to other games. At least she did, because there was like The Last of Us and that she encouraged me to get that game as well, and I did. But I still was, really playing a lot of, Uncharted 3 because I got really hooked into it. And since when I like decided to play the deathmatch modes, I was really hooked into it. I really enjoyed this kind of a fast but not too really game mode where you could, take other people down with skill, and especially the kind of the way that the maps were made, they were really cool. And there's this something that that it wasn't really anywhere else in any other multiplayers, either system or now. If like I don't really know any other games that do this, but there's this kind of a mechanic that allows you to gather, not gather, but like get those power weapons that were immediately in the start of every deathmatch in every kind of map. There's those weapon pickups that are much more powerful than the weapons that you had in the inventory, and it was kind of really fun because it was always just about the race of who gets these weapons first, and there was always kind of those kind of tactics to either prevent the enemy from reaching those weapons first, or just try to not get shot and like not get blown up any grenades or any kind of stuff to get to these kind of weapons. And it was really cool. And obviously they didn't like appear only at the start of the match. They were reappearing every so often, and it was like really cool. I think it was like one of the best things about this kind of multiplayer, because not only did you have to have some kind of a skill, like when it comes to the aiming and with the climbing abilities and that kind of shit, you really need to how to learn how to maneuver yourself properly. And not only that, you have to obviously use some sort of a game sense to see where the enemies are coming from and all. But there was also this kind of map knowledge as well, because since I've told you about earlier about those power weapons, each of the maps have like very unique those spawn locations for these power weapons, and you can actually really memorize it really well if you play dozens of them or hundreds. I really got used to those maps and where those weapons are that you could pick up and just start getting some kills easily. And it was like, I think it was the Team Deathmatch overall was like the best game mode that there is in Uncharted 3. Some people argue that the arena and the adventure co-op modes were even better than the deathmatch, but some even hated Team Deathmatch. And I personally don't really care. Like, that's their opinion, right? I don't really mind, but I did enjoy Team Deathmatch as well, and it was like really cool mode that I tend to play every so often. And well, to be honest, I've been playing this game. I've been grinding this game, even when there was like a free-to-play mode. I remember where the free-to-play this kind of thing launched on 26th of February 2013. That allowed to get the multiplayer for me. Of course, there was like some really. It was really limited when it comes to like the functionality, as of you couldn't earn any more levels past 15. That's also you not being able to get our legacies because it requires you to reach the maximum rank. And you didn't really had any like co-op modes and all. You had to get the full game to unlock everything really. And well, I didn't really need it to get that free-to-play mode yet. But I've had, even bigger and bigger issues when it comes to, the laser on the disk drive on console, that eventually started affecting loading games that I previously were able to do just fine, so say Little Planet 2. And I think eventually the overall, disk drive died, and there was some, like, my attempts of, like, repair this console, like try to replace the laser. I think I've managed to kind of do that, and it worked for like months, but then it died again. I don't really know. Maybe it could be due to the electrostatic discharge, because I didn't really know about it yet. I used to place this console when I was repairing on a carpet, so yeah, that is bad. I know that nowadays. Like, when you're repairing the console, never ever put any this comes like in general to all the hardware you repair. Never put it on the the surfaces which they cover off, like many like different kind of electrostatic discharges, and it could also affect the the lifetime of the hardware. So alright, anyways, back to the this kind of story. And I've played like free to play before this console died overall, but I had to use the free to play mode, sorry, that allowed me to actually still continuously play the game, but I couldn't like level up because I was already past 15 levels. But I didn't really care, I just wanted to have fun, and overall it was like really cool. I think I've learned so much because I've played a shit ton of Uncharted 3 when it comes to like team deathmatches and all. And there was like also the the other mode, which was the lab, and there was a kind of either those kind of custom maps that the developers made. They weren't like fully textured or not. It was like only just for the experiments, and it was like really fun because it was just kind of a reskin team deathmatch, to be honest. But it was really still fun to play them because some maps were really fun to play anyway. And there was also some really other like cool things in the lab. So say there was this kind of mode where you had only Mark 7s, which were those kind of really high power revolvers, and those SAS shotguns that basically one-shotted people when you were really close to them. That was really fun. And there was this other, game mode which I forgot the name in English. Sorry, guys, but there was this game mode where you could only throw grenades, and there was this kind of wall that kind of worked as a kind of a net. So say you played like a kind of a volleyball or something, but instead of the ball there was a grenade, and there was a shit ton of grenades and your objective was to try and kill the enemy teams with those grenades. It was like really fun. I personally think that was like one of the best things that ever happened in this game. It was like those kind of experimental modes which were a heck of a lot of fun. And so obviously I just couldn't keep on like playing only those kind of game modes where it's just only competitive matches. I really wanted to play arenas, or I really wanted to still keep on grinding the levels. So I got a brand new PS3 back in 2014. Like the first PS3 that I ever had was Slim, and the brand new that I've had up until now, it's a Super Slim, so it's kind of a different console really, but that allowed me to actually play Uncharted 3 fully again, and was really glad because I could reach so many other milestones that I previously couldn't manage to achieve. So first off, I think I've almost reached the maximum level. I'm not quite sure. I think I was somewhere around 70 on the last legacy, and also I got the star in the rank, and that I think it was like around 2015, 2016. And if you don't know what star meant on your rank, is that basically meant that you've beat all of those adventure maps on the crushing difficulty. And it was like really hard to like get to the finish of every single map, and it was really difficult if you didn't have good teammates as well. And it was also a lot better if you played with 3, which was like the max. So of course you were able to play with 2, and I mean I've managed to get it, so I won't say it's impossible, but it's really hard. And that was the thing that I was kind of the most proud of really when it comes to like the achievements in this game, and I feel like that was kind of a prestige thing really. When you had a star, then that obviously meant that you were really playing the game really well, and and back then I really watched out for those star players because I knew that you shouldn't like mess with them. And obviously every time back then, but since I was a noob back then, like on 2012 or like 2013, during that time I was kind of a noob, you know. I didn't really play well and all. Everyone was kind of a noob back then because nobody really knew how to play this game really well. There was like no tryhards whatsoever. It was like really chill back then, and well, that was kind of really fun in itself, right? You couldn't be like really frustrating because nobody was really trying, and if something happened that was like really out of the place, it was most of the time an accident, and accidents also were pretty fun. Not gonna lie. I think I like I continuously, you know, been playing this game over and over. I think it was like up until 2015, I guess, because it's 2015, and to be really exact, on Christmas Day I got a present, and that was a PS4, and I just jumped from the PS3 and PS4, and I've been playing lots of like other games, including Overwatch on PS4. So I started to play less and less often on PS3 overall. I've still kind of, you know, came back here and there just to, you know, just to remind ourselves of nostalgia, and that was like the most, you know, apparent in 2018, and now like here's the 2019, right? So major things have happened. So first off, since about half a year ago, you can change your name on PSN, and that was the thing that I was like really anticipated for, because I didn't really like my username over time. I think it was like becoming a stale, because it's like really lame to have the numbers after your nickname, so I decided to switch the name. Some people hate it, some people like it. I personally have accepted the way that I've changed my username, but it came to consequences that basically, like, not all of the games were kind of affected. Pretty much none of the games on PS4 were affected with this name change, really. But it did happen to change a few things with Little Planet 2, because I didn't have any comments later. Everything has been transferred over to the new kind of account in this game itself. Every hearted, you know, person that has my, you know, my profile, they were moved over to my profile as well, and all of my content were there as well. But the Uncharted 3 was kind of surprised, but not really at the same time, that all of the you know, this progress I've made was just lost. I was back to level 1, but I think at that point it didn't really matter, because I kind of felt like it's fine. Like, I could just relive all those moments of like grinding the multiplayer again, and I was just having fun anyway. And I didn't really like felt like I've lost the star yet. But it was like, well, obviously it hurt me really that I lost the star as well, but not too much. Like, having this kind of a memory that I've managed to beat all of those, you know, those adventures on crashing difficulty, it felt like that was an achievement in itself, and having this kind of a memorial on my you know, enemies, like, that's all I already wanted, to be honest, and I don't really need anything else apart from that. And I really didn't, you know, feel like I lost all of that stuff, especially when Naughty Dog announced that the servers were about to get shut down by the end of the holidays. So yeah, even more so, I wasn't really, you know, being hesitant about us being calm. Like, it just doesn't really matter. I've played shit ton of this game, and I had really had fun. Some frustration stuff as well, don't get me wrong. I've had lots of rage in this game, but eventually I think I got calmed in it, because I felt like I'm playing casually now. I really don't try hard really that much anymore. To be really honest, like, I really am glad that I've made this kind of live stream yesterday. Some people, you know, caught up on it. There was not many people watching it, to be honest, but it was still really nice seeing some people like reliving those moments, just at least by watching my live stream. Even though I'm pretty sure they could have gone for the others, because I'm pretty sure there was others live streaming it that had a better quality. And for those people, I really thank you. I really thank all of these guys for that, because that at least that gave me, you know, this kind of a reason to still stream the, you know, my last playthrough to this game. And overall, I would really say that I've had a hell of a ride with this game, and I'm really gonna miss it. And I've also said that there was really something about this game that I really didn't feel like there was nothing else like it, and like really, it's something that I've every time I came back to this, you know, this multiplayer, the nostalgia really hit me when it comes to like the music, this overall the gameplay is so amazing, right? Some people, obviously, the vast majority of people will still, you know, remember this game, this, you know, whole franchise as a whole, like being kind of focused on a single player only, and I get that, but there's obviously this kind of a thing when it comes to like the Uncharted 2 and 3, when it comes to multiplayers, that they weren't really all that important for many people, and that was kind of fair. But for those who was important, it was really heck of a fun of you know, this kind of a game mode. And those who like they're watching this video right now, those of you who are watching this video right now, I really do know that I really do feel, and I think that you share the same opinion as me, that this was in fact a legendary game, and it's something that I would have really hard time forgetting, because I'm really, you know, happy that this multiplayer happened, because I've pretty much, you know, experienced one of the most, you know, best multiplayer shooters. Of course, there's like many others. I don't really now say about anything about the Call of Duty series because I haven't really played them on PS3, but one of the best, you know, multiplayer games I've ever played on PS3. And yeah, so I guess that's basically it. Like, thanks for sticking into this kind of video. I know it's really long because it's just kind of the things that I really wanted to talk about on, you know, on my own without any kind of script whatsoever. Even though I don't the script, I still kind of went off topic, kinda. So yeah, this kind of a bit. I hope you would enjoy it as well. And okay, so Naughty Dog, if you watch this video, I really thank you for giving me this amazing experience. Not only just a single player game, because all of all those, you know, games that I've played, 1, 2, 3, 4, I've still got to play the Lost Legacy, don't get me wrong. Those, you know, single players, so those single player campaigns were really amazing, but I really think that equally were more so with 2 and 3. And if you're watching this, I know it might not be a possibility, but it will be really nice if you put multiplayer in the Uncharted 2 and 3 on the Not a Break collection, because I just really would still keep on playing if it was still there, like somewhere to play this game still online, then I definitely would, because I really do say that this game was quite fun. It's sad to see it go once again. I know I'm repeating myself. I know I'm really thrilling starting this video. That's why I ended it now. And thank you all really for watching. I'll hopefully I'll see you guys in the next videos, like when it comes to dreams, obviously, in the next time. So see ya, guys.